Hi guys! For this video, we will be analyzing Taylor Swift's piece from the Folklore album. And it's something that was actually randomly chosen by Apple Music for me. So I was thinking of a video or a song to do for a video, and I didn't want to just pick out my favorite ones because if I do, I might get tired and not be able to, let's say, do analysis for the other ones that I don't listen to that much. And Peace is actually one of them, not because I don't like it or it's not good. It's actually really good Taylor Swift song, right? The thing is, it just makes me so emotional, and the beat itself makes me a bit too feel too serious, feel to have too many emotions. If you get what I mean, that I don't listen to it as much as I do. I would only listen to it if I, let's say, I want to cry or something like that. Anyway, let's try to go into analyzing the lyrics of Peace as if we don't have any idea of what it contains it. So if you are a Taylor Swift fan or a Swiftie, you would probably know what it already means or you have your own interpretation for it. So you can share your own in the comment section as well. And then as for me, I already know it, and but there are also some who does not. So let's try to react to this one to analyze the lyrics just from the lyrics alone, and then you can listen to the song of course right after. So okay, so let's start with the title. So we have the title here, which is Peace. So what is the first, let's say, thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word peace? From my mind, it means the absence of war. So something that there might have been a war before and now it's peaceful, it's calm, or just the absence of any conflicts. Basically, that's how I see it. Everything is fine, everything is working as it should, and there are no troubles, there are no issues. So with that title itself, we can see that that might be the, let's say, the theme of this song, to be calm, to experience something that's calm, and yeah. So that's what I basically, let's say, can infer by just checking the lyrics. So let's go now to the verse. So for the first verse, what we have here is we start with our coming of age has come and gone. Suddenly the summer, it's clear. Okay, so by the word coming of age, it means something of being a child going to the teenage years, right? So being more of an adult, growing up and all. And usually during this stage in our lives, this is where we are a bit more impulsive. This is where we have a bit more of a rebellious state where we try to basically act like we know it all and can handle all of our problems on our own without listening to our parents. And this is also the part where we actually dive into love, right? This is the part where we experience those heartbreaks, those fun, those highs, those lows. And what is being said here is that this coming of age, these types of teenage years, these teenage love affairs, probably, or all of these problems that we normally encounter as teenagers, has already come and it has already gone. So we're already past this stage in this starting line. So that's the tone that's being set here, that we're not teenagers anymore. We are in a more mature level because that's already, let's say, come and gone. And then we go to the second line where it said, suddenly this summer, it's clear. So it's like normally when you are in college, right? Or you were coming of age or a teenager, you would have those summer getaways, those summer activities that you do with with your friends, with your lover, and that is where you would normally have those, let's say, chaotic experiences or fun experiences, is how we say it. But for some reason this summer it's clear. So there's nothing maybe that's happening this summer. It's just a bit, maybe going to the title, it's just a bit more peaceful in essence, how I interpreted it in these two lines basically. And then we go to the third line where it said, I never had the courage of my convictions. So I like again how Taylor uses the alliteration here for the consonant C. So it's the repetition of the consonant pronunciation that we have here with the courage of, and then the word conviction. So it kind of again flows smoothly into your mouth as you say courage of my conviction, which is kind of what I feel is the speaker telling us that um, she or he is afraid to make conviction, so never had, right? So never having the courage of that given conviction. So conviction means commitment and being able to push through with something, and never having the courage for it is more of saying I can't commit. I am afraid to basically provide myself or give myself in terms of whatever that situation may be. So for this context, it may be to the lover or it might be to something else. And it's good as well that the word never has been used instead of saying I am afraid of my convictions or having convictions, because this never had gives us more of an idea that there wasn't a point in time that she or he was courageous in terms of convicting or having commitments. And again, it makes it a bit more smooth in terms of the writing style because of the alliteration with the courage of my convictions. Just emphasize on that instead of just saying afraid of my convictions. So just really classic Taylor Swift writing style, and it's really good. It gives us more emphasis. It gives it more, let's say, meaning to it. It gives us more of an idea that this is really lack of commitment from the speaker's end. So the next line would be as long as danger is near. So the speaker is saying like I don't have, let's say, this ability to commit because I feel like danger is always near. And then going to the next line right here is really something that kicks it off some more, because what she's saying or he is saying here is that it's just around the corner, darling, because it lives in me. So um, it provides more emphasis as to the reason why he or she is afraid to commit, to fall in love, maybe because danger is always near, and that danger, whatever that might be, in terms of this context that we're talking about, it could be love, it could be something else, is just around the corner because it's basically living inside her or him. So it's telling us that um just a reference to anti-hero, right? She is the problem or he is the problem at this point, because and that's being acknowledged by the speaker because he or she knows that that is basically within him or her. So that's kind of like a bit of a punch in the gut right there. Not being able to fully commit yourself because you know that at some point there will be danger, and that danger is within you. So at some point you will fuck it up and do something that will mess things up. And that's further emphasized in this line. So going to the title already, where the speaker said, "No, I could never give you peace." And this is again going to the same never that we had here, where instead of saying, "I'll be chaotic, I'll give you chaos," it said, "I could never give you peace," and it's saying that I don't probably have any control about this because that danger is within me. It's something that is part of me, and if you, let's say, want to be with me, probably you have to face the fact that I could never give you peace. And this is a bit more of what makes it emotional just with the first verse itself, because like, how will you ever, let's say, give yourself to someone if you know that you yourself is not okay, or like don't have peace within you. And that is, I think, clearly what's being stated in the first verse itself. That's very hard to do, especially if you know you are aware of all of these shortcomings that you have, and that you yourself couldn't even get yourself out of that situation. And now, let's say you are in love with someone or you care about someone, and you know that you're gonna be bringing them the same type of chaos, this absence of peace, because you're basically bringing it. It's basically you. So that's kind of why it's a bit, tragic in terms of this first verse itself, and it's really already so powerful in terms of the meaning, and that's why I find it very hard to listen to this because it makes me cry just with these first few lines. We haven't even gone to the chorus and the second verse yet, but that is already a punch in the gut right there. Okay, now let's go to the chorus. So now that we've established what type of character the speaker is and what type of probably relationship they have, what we go into now, the chorus is I'm a fire. Basically, so I can never give you peace, but going to the chorus, I am a fire and I'll keep your brittle heart warm. So basically, saying that probably the significant other of the speaker has a brittle heart, has a soft heart, has a basically um, non-chaotic or unchaotic type of personality who is very much nice and kind. And then if this brittle heart, this very sensitive heart is, let's say, having some problems and all, basically the fire inside her is what's gonna keep him or her warm in this aspect, right? So it's a nice, let's say, touch to the chorus. And then we say, if your cascade, ocean wave, blues come. So this is such a nice contrast in terms of the fire, because you're given the fire as an element, which is the opposite of the ocean or the water, and basically they're different type of element. So it kind of gives us the characteristic again of the two, being with the speaker being fire, and then the person that she or he is talking to being the ocean or water. So there's a contrast right there. So what the speaker is saying is that whatever you may lack or whatever you need to have is something I can provide through this fire. So it could be, let's say, on a dark blue days, on a sad day, I could give you light, something like that. Or could also be on a boring day, right? Because it seems like the person is just very a bit more on the peaceful side, on a calm side, so there might not be that much adventure there. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but then what this part is saying is like, I could spice it up a bit, I could give it a bit more warmth, can give it a more adventure and something like that. And the next line then says, all these people think love's for show, but I would die for you in secret. So it's like coming from the, let's say, coming from the context that probably there are a lot of people who is just telling that whatever your relationship you currently have, that's just for show, right? That's not true. That's not real, and you don't really love each other. You just wanted to prove a point. That may have been something like that. Most people like to do those things if they see a couple that's working things out or are happy. They would probably say, yeah, they would probably break up anyway. And then um but then we get here that I would die for you in secret. So it's like telling us that this speaker loves the other person so much that um this dying for you, this giving of one's life to the other, is not something of a heroic act that the speaker would do to show the others that this love is true. This can be done actually in secret, and basically the speaker would just do it because he or she loves the person, and there's nothing or no other people that needs to be pleased, in essence, for this case. And we can see in the next line as well, the devil's in the details, but you got a friend in me. So if like basically this whole relationship, if you look at it from a bird's eye view or like from an outside looking in view, you would see that yeah, this is probably a perfect relationship, but yeah, they're doing this just for show. It's probably fake because it's too perfect from how it looks. But then if you look at the devils in the details, so this is a dramatic expression that we have where if you take a look closer, you would see what it really means. So that's kind of what it basically is saying. So if you're someone who is actually part of the relationship, you would probably know that this is not just a perfect lovey-dovey loves for show type of relationship, but this is true. This is the type of relationship that you would want to die for, that you would want to continue because it's what you want to build. It's what you really want to have. That's the type of interpretation I get here. And then what's saying is, but you got a friend in me. So it's like the best relationship, um let's say the best type of relationship that you can have with your lover is also that lover being your friend, your best friend, right? And this line emphasizes that as well, because um that is how they are, right? I am your friend, or the speaker saying, I am your friend, right? And you got a friend in me. So I can be that person for you in this relationship. You can trust me as a friend, and you can find a friend basically in me. So it's like the type of relationship that most of us would like to have, because there's some types of relationships where you're together romantically, maybe for the sake of attraction, but you don't really connect in the same way as friends does. It's a bit hard to navigate through those types of relationship. But what the speaker is saying is that no, we're friends. You got a friend in me. If you need me, I will be there for you. But then we go to the last line where it basically says, would it be enough if I could never give you peace? So would all of these things be enough? Would you having a friend in me, with me dying for you in secret, and me being a fire for you, would those things be enough if I could still never give you peace, right? Because this is just something that the speaker really can't provide or give, because the danger is really within him or herself. So that's the question. Would it be enough for you? Would you still accept me if these are the things that comes along the relationship with me? Then we go to verse 2. And what we get here is more of a description. So from the chorus, what we were getting is more of how the speaker is to the, let's say, the significant other that he or she is talking to. But then as we go to the verse 2, or the second verse, what we're getting here is more of a description of the person that the speaker is talking to. So basically what we have here is, your integrity makes me seem small. So probably this person is an integrous integrous, has a great, let's say, integrity, is wholesome, is morally, let's say, good in essence, or like avoids any types of issues or anything like that. And this type of integrity that this person has makes the speaker seem small, because probably of all of the, let's say, the danger or the chaos that lives within him or herself, this type of um, character trait that this significant other has is making that the speaker feel small in this aspect. And then you paint dreamscapes on the wall. So what this kind of gives, let's say, in the whole chaotic sense of the speaker, this I'm dark, this is I feel like the speaker is a bit gloomy in a dark place and is finding, let's say, chaos and everything. But then the significant other is painting dreamscapes in the wall. So if you know what the types of dreamscapes are, these are good, let's say, views that you have. And then even though you're confined in, let's say, the wall, right? What we're saying is like the significant other is like, no, I'll paint dreamscapes there. I'll make everything feel okay. I'll make everything feel beautiful, even though we're restricted in these types of, let's say, in this wall or in this room, covered in all of these four walls and something like that. And then here we get, I talk shit with my friends. It's like I'm wasting your honor. So like, the type of people who likes to talk shit with friends. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, in essence, if it's with just your friends, right? But if you keep on doing it all the time, and if you find nothing good to say about other people, that's kind of, it's really makes it, I mean, chaotic or tragic, right? And like what what the speaker is saying is like, I'm this type of person, and it feels like I'm just wasting your honor, because you have this integrity right here. You're the type of person who wouldn't care about other people. And then here I am talking shit with my friends. I feel like I'm just wasting your honor in this aspect. So coming to the part in the chorus where these are all the things that I'm giving to you. We go now to the second verse of, these are all the things that you are. These are all the things that you can do for me. But then this is the type of person I am. But then we go to the next few lines here where the speaker is saying, I'd swing with you for the fences. So this swing with you for the fences is kind of like a baseball, I think, expression where you go swing full force. You swing with all your might to basically hit the home run. And it's giving us the idea that the speaker is saying, I would go to these extremes. I would try everything just to be with you, or to be with you, basically, in this aspect. So I'd swing with you for the fences. So I will join you in trying to hit this home run together. Sit with you in the trenches. So going to the baseball reference, now we're going to a bit of a war reference here, in essence, where if you're sitting in the trenches, it means that you are brave enough to be with this person because this is war. Sitting in the trenches references war, where you need to use this to defend the yourself, right? The soldiers is going to the trenches to defend themselves from a battle, and this is what the speaker is saying. I would hit a full swing for you, do a home run, fight this battle with you, and I will also sit with you in the trenches. So in our defense, what we will be, I will still be there with you no matter what happens. And then we get here to the part, give you my wild, give you a child. So you can see here already that even though the speaker is afraid of commitment because she never had the courage of her own convictions or his convictions, um, what we're getting is that the speaker is so sure of the other person that that person is willing to give his or her wild, so like craziness that lives inside him or her probably, and then give you a child. So in this aspect, like the speaker is willing to start a family, to settle down with this other person through the giving of child part. And then this again give you the silence that comes when two people understand each other. So you know those types of relationship where you can just be silent for the entire day but not have it as an awkward type of relationship. Because the thing is, if you're in a good relationship and if something is really working out in that given relationship, even if you're not talking, even if you're doing your own separate things, but you're still together, right? Or you're just together, it's okay to be silent because not all the time you would want to talk, and not all the time there is an issue if you're not talking. It's just the type of silence that, yeah, I understand that you might not want to talk right now because you're tired or you're doing your own thing, and it's okay. And it's this type of peaceful silence that you would normally want to have in a relationship because there's no pressure. There is no, let's say, want to please the other. It's just basically understanding, right? Each other and being um peaceful together. So what that's what that's the type of relationship that the speaker wants to give the other person. So family as well. Now that I see your brother as my brother, so as you can see, the speaker really is ready or want to commit with this other person, and they wanted to establish a family. And seeing your brother as my brother is like giving the other person's family the same love that you would normally be giving to your family. It's a type of expression that's given right here. It's really a good one to have as well. Like, see your brother as my brother is establishing that type of love, that type of relationship. But again, we go to the part, is it enough? Are all of these enough? Are all the things that I am willing to give and do for you enough? Because there's basically robbers to the east and clowns to the west. So like this is really good writing as well, because it tells us that in all of the directions, whether it be east or whether it be west, there are things that's gonna come. There, let's say, villains that potentially gonna come, like robbers or clowns, who would cause chaos, who would cause danger, who would disrupt whatever peace we might have initially have. Is it okay? Is it enough? If that's the case, um, so even if there's those things, I'd still try to give you my sunshine. I'd still try to give you my best. So, um, but the rain is always gonna come if you're standing with me. So going back to the first verse, right, where we said the danger is living within him or her, and now I will try, basically, or the speaker will try to give the other person sunshine, but then rain is still gonna come because if you're standing with me, that rain comes with me as well. But I will still try, right, to give you my sunshine. Now we go to the next chorus, the other chorus where we get the repetition of "But I'm a fire and I'll keep your brittle heart warm." So it's the same exact chorus that we had. If your cascade ocean wave blues come, all these people think love's for show, but I would die for you in secret. So the devil's in the details, but you got a friend in me. So what we have here is just a repetition of the first chorus, where we're basically being it's basically being emphasized that these are the things that the speaker can provide. These are the things that the speaker can also bring. So at this point, with the establishment of the type of people that they both are you still willing to basically be with me, is the question. Like, after all of these things that I've mentioned, would all of those be enough if I could never give you peace? And then the repetition here, the three times repetition provides emphasis of really asking and double checking again and again. Would all of these things be enough if I could never really give you peace? Because this is really what comes with me. Basically, I have the danger in me, right? I have rain in me, and all of these things are something that comes if you basically fall in love with me. And for me, this song is really such a great one, and it makes me a bit emotional because as a type of person who probably has, let's say, not that good belief that I am I can be this person, or like there will be no chaos because um let me try to explain that. Like, coming from where I am at this point in my life, where I have all of these other problems that go along with me, that even though I try to solve them on my own, they're very much hard to do so because these are sometimes are external ones that are just with you, right? And then you get to the point where you are afraid to actually enter a relationship because you don't want to bring this chaos upon this person, because of course, who would want to be in a relationship and make it chaotic and have all of these problems, right? At the same time, if you really love the person, you wouldn't want this person to experience all of these things that you're experiencing, because that would also be hard for them. There will be no peace in this type of relationship if you also bring them with you in this aspect. But then, of course, looking to the other side of it, with the things that you could also bring, like fire, giving this person warmth, giving this person all of your love, all of your commitment, that you are willing to give them a family in this regard, right? Is also the other aspect that would make it a bit, let's say, conflicting, because you don't want to give all of these troubles to this person. You couldn't give peace to this person as yourself, and it's something that's uncontrollable. Because if you just can control it, you would basically not um you would basically give them peace, right? But then you can't, and at the same time, you will do your might to give them what they want. I mean, that's kind of where we have a bit of an irony or a paradox in that regard, and that's what makes it a bit beautiful, because um it gives you all of the complications, all of the complexities that come with love. And it's just a very short song. Like, it did not even have a bridge in it, just the actual verses and then the repetition of the chorus as second time around. So, yeah, and just with that, everything is really already told in a way that we know what type of relationship they have, and it's really really amazing. So anyway, now that we've discussed peace and I've talked a lot, I want to know your thoughts, and then what do you think about this song? How do you relate to it? Do you relate to it? Does it make you cry as well, like it did for me? I actually am having a headache right now. Anyway, so if you like these types of analysis, please subscribe. Let me know what your thoughts are, and I appreciate it. So see you in the next video. Bye.